Okay, guys, and we're back with another episode of the Seth Solo Side Quest. In this episode, we're going to be talking about Paul Hughes' recent win at the PFL event this past weekend. Now, Paul Hughes is a lightweight contender at PFL, been one of their top guys at PFL for a while in their lightweight division. Of course, he's coming off the loss against Usman Nurmagomedov. Of course, that was a super close fight between those two, and arguably, Paul Hughes won that fight. I mean, in my opinion, I think Usman did enough to win that fight, in my opinion. But of course, Paul Hughes is back with another win. To be honest, there's not a huge breakdown for this fight. It was Paul Hughes versus Bruno Miranda. Never heard of Bruno Miranda before. His record was 17-5 going into this fight, so take from that what you will. I don't know if this guy's, regarded as high level, if he's been in the UFC before and not made it, and he's sort of in the PFL now. But yeah, crazy to think that fight between Usman Nurmagomedov and Paul Hughes happened at the start of this year. Like I said, that was a majority decision win for Usman. A really close fight. I think it was the right decision. I think Usman did win that fight. But like I said, he's fighting against Bruno Miranda and he's back against him. This was a finish 42 seconds into the first round. There isn't really a ton of analysis you can really even do for this fight. Bruno Miranda didn't land any shots. I think he threw a few kicks out there, but other than that, he really did nothing. Pretty much, I think the first punch that Paul Hughes landed dropped him, and then from them put him on his ass, and then from there ground and pounded and won the fight. So Paul Hughes is back in the win column. I don't imagine. Although maybe they'll do Usman v Paul Hughes again. I don't know if this fight was a PFL. If this was a PFL tournament fight, I've got no idea, and I'm not going to research it because it's PFL. I don't know if they'll run it back between Paul Hughes and Usman so quick. Of course, that fight only happened at the start of this year. Of course, it's a fight we would all want to see because it was so close. Like I said, I do think Usman won that fight, but you can't deny it was a very competitive fight. I'd like to see both guys go and get a few more wins under their belt before running it back. But of course, when you're in PFL, the amount of money you can make is going to be limited, and thus at that point, the amount of time you spend in PFL is going to be limited. And now, where we've got the news that Islam might be moving up to 170, maybe that's sort of the green light for the UFC to sign Usman when he becomes available, and then maybe Usman comes in at 155. I don't think Usman is Usman's very talented though. Usman is a very good fighter, but of course Islam's been doing it at a high level for longer. I think both guys, Paul Hughes and Usman Nurmagomedov, would both come into the UFC lightweight division and they'd definitely be ranked, maybe be top 10 guys. They're that good, which compared to other guys that have come into the UFC from PFL and Bellator, majority of them haven't had that sort of success. Michael Chandler, he's won 2 fights in the UFC and got beaten up the rest of the time. MVP's been mixed. I think he's just about ranked at welterweight now. But yeah, you know what I mean? That's really, like I said, there's not a ton of analysis to really give for this fight because first punch Paul Hughes he landed and put him on his ass. To be honest, you don't see performances like that too often in MMA, it feels like, where guys just go out there, you're the heavy favourite, you're in your hometown, you go out there, first round, bang him out. Doesn't happen too often. It's much more of a thing to happen in boxing, to be fair. And I'm here for it, because it's entertainment at the end of the day. Sport, but still entertainment at the end of the day. But yeah, Paul Hughes with another win, and we'll see what's next for him in PFL. Another episode of the Seth Solo Side Quest in the bag, and I'm out. Peace.